So last class means last demo class, we already explained about what is waterfall model, what is SDLC, what is agile process, and then DevOps process. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about all the tools and all the tool responsibility to build your CI/CD pipeline. Okay. So let me. Okay. So first tool actually for DevOps tool is Git and GitHub. Okay. So anybody know about Git and GitHub? What is the use of Git and GitHub?
Git is a repository like where you, uh, when you are working virtually or when you are working on cloud, there are multiple times you can have your codes saved in different uh, PCs. So rather than doing that, you can save it at one place, and you can make an arrangement that many developers can work, and they will push their codes to a particular bucket, and from there you can use it for your final version of code.
Okay. Yeah, correct. So Git basically actually Git is a distributed version control tool, and GitHub is actually cloud storage system. So where everybody can sync their code. So in a centralized place. Okay. And Git we can say distributed version control tool. So in software industry we have a two types of actually version control tool. One is actually centralized version control tool. Another is actually distributed version control tool. So centralized example is actually Subversion or SVN. So which is little old. So people are now using, because of that people are using actually Git. Okay. So in our course Git is there, but when we are going to start actually Git and GitHub, so that time I will tell you what is the difference between actually centralized and your distributed version control. Okay. So let's say, okay. So first of all, why version control tool required? See, in old days when actually your software company started, so that time what happened? Let's say you have actually this machine and there is a two machine and two developers are working. Okay, this is actually one developer is working. So he did actually this. Let's say normally file one. Let's say he created, and in file one he updated high. Okay, and another file is there, file two, where actually he added actually also high. So this is actually one developer is writing this code. Okay. Let's say dev one, and another developer here also he is writing the code. So let's say developer two. So when they are writing the code, actually end of the day they need to store in a centralized place. Let's say in old days there is no version control tool. That time what they are doing, they are taking a remote server or some drive, sharing drive. So where they are copying the code. So let's say this developer also sending code to here or copying the code actually end of the day. Let's today they are doing something there. They need to save the code. Okay. So that means this will come to here and this also it will come to here. Okay. They need to save. Okay. This is actually your day one activity. And this also your day one activity. Okay. So then once they save the code here, it will be updated. So next day they came to actually their company and they started working on in same file. Let's say. So day two. And this also day two. Okay, day two, what they did, they changes something in this file. Okay, they updated some contents in this file. Let's say they updated actually. Bye. So now again, second day completed, they need to save their code. So day one, they copied this one. So can you tell me in day two, what are the file will available and how many file will available in this remote repo? If you are not using actually version control tool, so this is called your remote repo. Sorry, remote server, not repo. Okay. So can anybody tell me? So how many file will available here and what are the contents will available here?
I think there will be two files because they're going to overwrite on the same file. So that would be two files, but it will not have day-wise sequence.
Okay. So other like Nursing and Abhishek, what is your opinion? First of all, Abhishek, understanding what we are discussing.
Yes, 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 sir.
Okay. So what is your actually understanding here? So how many files will available?
I think two will be available, right?
So two will available. What are the contents will be there in with two files contents? Okay. See here what what Somurendra, correct? So what he told is correct only. Right. So see, we are not using any version control tool here. That means simply whatever Windows behavior, you are copying some file, again you are copying same file, what it will happen? It will override and it will not track actually day one file. It will track only day two file with latest update. That means this file will come to here and this file will also come to here. Because it is overriding. So what will happen? Let's say they are working like this and 30 days they work, this both developer, they work. And one file only will create with all the details. So two file will create with all the details, correct? So what will happen? So tomorrow, if your manager come to you and he will ask you, I need 28th date file. So where actually it's a stabilized version where there is no issue that only customer want. That time what you have to do, because already you have a 30th file and again what you have to do, you have to rework and you have to go back to 20th file. So which is not good practice and it is waste for actually time as well as a rework for this developer and it is loss for company. Second one, it is a remote server, means it is a machine and machine can crash also, correct? Once machine will crash, all these things will go, correct? So because of these disadvantages of things actually, and if two developer it's okay, if you have 10 20 developers are working, so they will face lot of issue if they are not using actually version control tool. So why we are calling it a version control tool? Because each version of file it will track. So here if you are working 30 days, 60 file it will actually happen. So each day file it will track with a version ID, with a commit ID. So that tomorrow if you want to jump to day one file, you can go to day one file. Okay. So that is actually importance of your version control tool. If version control tool will not there, so developer will not work correctly because there may be some, because of some issue, PC will crash, the code base will go, again they will rework. So if they will rework, project will be delay. What I explained you like last class, like first demo class, like because of waterfall model it is delaying because they are not using correct actually version control and all and correct actually way to implement the SDLC process. Okay, so this is the disadvantages when you are going for local version control tool where you are not using any version control tool. Okay, got it? What are the disadvantages and all? So then actually in market version control tool came. So one is actually centralized, one is distributed. So in our course, distributed version control, we are going to explain because 80% company were using Git only. Okay. Let's say same actually here. Let's say you have a r.java. Okay. And here you have a shop.java. Okay. Here you, if anybody is not understanding, they can ask me. No issue. Okay. We will clarify. Okay. So see, this is actually developer machine. So it's a Java based project. Okay. In throughout our class, actually we'll see actually Java based project. So where actually the extension will be Java. Okay. So developer one is writing the code. This is the code for developer one. This is the code for developer two. This is the code for developer three. Okay. And actually, which machine developer is going to work? Whole machine we can say actually workstation of that particular developer. What we can say? Workstation. Okay. Okay. Once, okay, this machine we can say workstation, and each developer machine or each, let's say I am a DevOps engineer, correct? My machine also I require Git. So without Git code will not work, correct? Git has some command. That command will work only when Git is installed in your system. Okay. So if you are going to work actually Word, so Word is installed means you are going to work in Word in your local machine. Like that, in each developer machine, we are going to install Git. Okay, how to install and all, we'll see actually class. So these all things we have to know. Okay, once actually this everything is ready, so in our system only, it will create a actually local repo for you. Okay, what is repo? I'll tell you. So first we have to copy the code actually to this. Okay. See, this is only for basic things I'm explaining. This Git itself, it will take for you 10 classes. Okay.
So if I understood correctly, what we are showing here is these three columns, r.java, sub.java, and mul.java. These three are uh, different development that these developers are doing.
Yeah, developers work. Yeah,
And workstation are basically their laptops or wherever they are writing the codes.
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And same system, we have to install Git. Without that, we can't create our repository. Okay. So I'll tell you what is repository. So without installing Git, so Git has some command, correct? That only can work when we are going to install Git, correct? So that I'll tell you. So before that, so this is your GitHub. Okay, I told you one word actually GitHub. Correct? So GitHub actually it's a centralized place. Correct? Inside GitHub where it is available? It is available in internet. Correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
So inside internet you have a GitHub. Inside GitHub you have a remote repo. Okay. So what is remote repo? Also I'll tell you. Let me write first. And this is called your local repo, which is present in each developer machine or local system. That's why local repo. Okay, and this is remote repo. Okay, and this is your GitHub. Sorry. So GitHub actually looks like this. Where lot of actually, see this is GitHub, and here I have remote repo. So remote repo means inside GitHub, okay, we need to create a repo. Inside repo, we need to copy our code. Okay. So AWS DevOps one repository I created. Inside that repository, I have all the code. Okay. So that remote repo inside only we are copying the code, because in a GitHub, multiple project actually it is there, and each project contains one repository. Inside repository, you have actually all code. Okay. So if you go to your diagram, yeah. If you go to diagram, that's why I told actually inside GitHub, you have a remote repo. Inside remote repo, you are going to copy the code. Okay. So here code will be there. We have to copy end of the day here.
Oh, then every time we need to upload it.
Every time means, suppose let's say today you are going to work on something. See here, if you are going to day one something you work, okay, day two something you are work, you have to upload the file. Otherwise, tomorrow if this person required, let's say you are a this developer one, I am a developer two, and someone is developer three. So developer one code, if you want actually, you should not connect to developer one. You have to take from this remote repo, because this is a centralized available, correct? So
Understood.
it is easy. It is easy for you to take the code from here. Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
So this is called your local repo. First, your code will move to here. Then your code will move to here. See, inside remote repo also we have some branch concept. So it will confuse for today if I am going to explain. So what code will go to here means this code will go to here. Okay. This code will go to here, and this code will go to here. Okay. All this code will copy from here. So how it will copy? Here, see, this is your workstation. From workstation to, you need to copy to local repo. So why we require this local repo? See, when I'm saying distributed version control tool, because of this local repo only, I'm saying the distributed version control tool. Okay. So one second. Okay. So once we are going to do this local repo, okay, how it is going to create? Once you install Git and you are initializing Git, so this local repo will create, and see, when you are going to save the file, once you save the file, it will generate a commit ID for you and version ID for you. Okay. So that here only it will generate, so that what benefit you will get tomorrow, if by default when you are writing something in this machine, it is deleted in your workstation, we can copy from local repo, because inside local repo already it is saved. Okay. So because of that, actually Git gave a good feature called actually local repo, which is not present in your centralized version control tool like subversion. Subversion, what it is saying, workstation and remote repo. So if you are doing workstation and remote repo in between communication, if your network connection, internet connection is not there, your file still it will present here. Okay, it will not go to here. Okay, so that what you are going to get actually here, disadvantages. If file is deleted or corrupted or something happen, you can't push that file here. Correct? So what Git did actually, he created a local repo. Okay, it is replica of your remote repo. How remote repo is working, local repo also same thing. It is same kind of things actually. Okay, so here also it will create a database to store your all the things. Here also it will create a database to store everything. Okay, so first we have to move from workstation to local repo, then from local repo to remote repo. Okay, so how we are going to move workstation to, if you are going to move actually, first command you have to, Git should know actually this file is available to take it, because I am a developer. I am a developer and I am adding some file. Okay, I know, but Git don't know. Git should know that, correct? So if Git want to know that, so you have to use actually Git status command to know where actually exactly your file is there. If you are finding the file is present in workstation, okay, so just you have to use actually the command called git add file name. Okay, these all things we will complete actually in our actual class. Hello. Okay, so git add first you have to use. Once you use the git add from workstation to, it will go to where? So not local repo. In between that, actually, our another area will come. So that is called actually. So here another area it will call actually staging area. Okay. Okay. Or you can say actually tracking area. And in workstation things actually we can say actually here on tracking area. Okay. So why on tracking? Because Git is not tracking. It is a developer actually work. Once Git will track means we have to add means Git will track. And that's why we are telling in between workstation and local repo, there is a area called actually, it is called actually staging or tracking area. Okay. So where once you add the file, it will go to staging area. And once it is present in staging area, it is eligible for commit. Commit means permanently you are going to save to local repo. For that, there is a command called actually git commit -m, okay, and some message. Okay, what is this actually commit? Commit means any language you go, commit means you are committing something, you are saving something, correct? So once you do the commit, it will create a version ID. That's why we are telling actually version control tool, okay, or source code management tool. Okay. So once it will go to here, okay, then it is eligible for push the file. So then another command we can use actually here git push. What it will do? It will go to here. Okay. Got it? Up to this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once you push the file, it will go to here. Tomorrow, let's say actually Abhishek, you want it is your machine. You want what you have to do? You have to download from this to this, correct? So for
Yes.
downloading, there is a command actually. It is not downloading. It will do the pull. Okay. You have to do in your machine git pull.
Okay.
Okay. So what it will do now? So it will not take your changes. You have some changes here, correct? So you have some sub.java. It will exclude that and other things it will copy. Add.java and multiplication.java it will copy to your system.
Okay.
Okay. When you are doing git pull. Clear everybody?
Meaning others codes will get pulled to my system.
Correct, correct, correct. Yeah, correct. See, when you are writing some code, let's say you are developing a application, correct? So 20 developers will be there. But once everybody code is actually integrating, then only it will show your application, correct? For that integration, you need in your system all the code to integrate,
Okay.
correct? So because of that, actually it is useful when you are going to use GitHub, you can take the code like using pull command. Okay.
Okay.
So here to here it is pull. It will come to here as well as it will come to here also. Okay. See, this is actually your Git, but when we are going actual class, we will take actually 10 days, 7 to 10 classes for Git and GitHub. Lot of things are there. Just overall, I told you the architecture of Git. Okay, this is actually called architecture of your Git and GitHub. Okay. So then actually our second tool is Maven, correct? So what is Maven? So Maven actually it is a build automation tool, correct? Build tool, correct? So build means what actually? First we have to understand what is build, okay? And then we are going to integrate this to this. How it is useful, we'll see. One second, let me put this out, please. So developer, whatever code they're writing, this code they wrote, correct? So this is called actually source code. Okay. Why we are calling source code? Because actually developer writing they know, okay, and actually we can actually learn Java and we also can know. But when it is come to your system don't know about your source code and all. So that source code we need to convert to actually binary code. Okay. So that actually using this Maven we can do it. So let's say you have actually in your system same add.java is there.
I have a question here.
Yeah, tell me.
So in the Git, that
Yeah,
architecture what you showed,
yeah.
from a DevOps point of view,
Okay.
uh, where does the DevOps engineer or the architecture role comes in? Because it's basically the developer who was developing the codes and then they're pushing it to
See,
the
yeah,
remote repo and all. So where
correct,
is
correct.
the developer role?
See, let's say you are writing, you are going to build the code, correct? So that is developer will not do. So you have to use CI, correct? Continuous integration actually pipeline, correct? So when
Mhm.
you are using, that is your job. Once source code will present here, you have to take this source code to somewhere to do the build. That time DevOps role will come. That is one scenario I'm saying. Let's say tomorrow in your system you are going to run the pipeline. So directly you can take actually code from here, or if you are going to test it, you can take the code to your system and using Maven you have to build and you have to check it whether it's correctly executing or not. Correct? So that is one part. Second
Mhm.
part, when you are going to write actually shell scripting to manage this thing, or if you are going to write actually Terraform script, that time what will happen? You have to take the code actually to locally, okay, and you have to write the code. Then you have to push back to GitHub. Okay. See, Terraform means actually there is a tool called Terraform. So what it will do? It will automate your infrastructure. Automate infrastructure means your OS, correct? Your RAM, all these things, your database, all these things you have to automate. When you are doing automate, you have to write some script. Okay. So that script Terraform is going to write for you. Okay. Or you are going to write using Terraform script. So that pipeline you have to write and you have to put it actually in GitHub. When you require to do modification, you have to take from locally and you have to do the modification, you have to push it. Okay.
Okay. Okay. I think over next days it will get clear.
Yeah. See, this whatever we are explaining, this is basic things, correct? So when we are going deeply, actually, for actually this Terraform itself, it will take actually 15 classes. So once you will do small project using Terraform, you will get to know. So, but overall, I'll tell you how it is working. But if you are going to use Terraform, you will get to know like how we are going to do actually this practical things I'm saying. Theoretically, tomorrow will complete, but practically it will take time to understand.
Okay.
So this is source code, and this source code where it is present? It is present developer's machine, or it is present here GitHub. Correct? Let's say it is present in GitHub. So what I did actually, I took in my system this code. I need actually that time Jenkins is not there because we are learning now Maven. Okay. So in my system, I copied all this code, but I need to convert each source code to binary code. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So this source code developer wrote and he updated in here. So what we did as a DevOps engineer, we took this all code in our system. Then we are going to install Maven. Once you install Maven, what you have to do first, you this code now you have to compile or you have to build. Okay. You can say compile or build. Okay. Using some Maven command, you have to do this. Okay? Once you build this, it is going to convert from .java extension to .class extension, which is called actually binary file. Okay, because end of the day, it is should execute in your system, not on the fly. So system need to understand binary. So first source code we need to convert to binary code. Then see when actually see I just shown you 4 files. In your real time, maybe lakhs of files are there or 10,000 or 5,000 files are there. Okay, everybody every day developers are writing, correct? So each one we are going to convert to class, and all the 10,000 file we should not give the to the client to deploy, correct? So we sorry not to client, we should not deploy all the 10,000 code. We have to make a zip, we have to make a single file, then only we can send that to our client, or we need to deploy in our system where actually production actually environment we have to deploy. Let's say example, when you are downloading Mozilla or Notepad++ or any software, so somebody developed that software, correct? But you are getting a single file, okay? That is called in Windows MSI file or installer file, correct? But when you are double clicking that single file, it is executing this inside that single file, the class file is there. And class file where it is coming from? .java extension it is coming. Okay. So internally that everything is going on, but when you are getting one single file you are getting. Okay. That in Java actually called is a package. Okay. So Java it is called package, and all the file we have to make a single file. Okay. So it is called package. Okay. So it is called package. And in Windows, it is MSI file or installer, correct? But here, if it is a desktop application, you will get actually jar extension. Or if it is a web application, you will get war extension. Okay. See, where actually our Maven came to picture here, we need to use one command so that actually all the Java dot extension file need to convert to class extension file. Then we have to use another command actually package. What will happen? All the class file, it will make a single war file or jar file. Then this file actually we need to deploy in a server. You can get your application in browser. This is main important file. Okay. Clear this flow, Maven? Maven. Okay. Any doubt here? So here we can use actually, there is a command called actually mvn compile. Okay, there is a command for Maven. And here you can use another command called actually mvn package. Okay. Clear? Any doubt here means you can ask. Okay. Okay. So next actually tool is here Nexus. Okay. So what is Nexus? Nexus is the backup tool for Maven. It is a backup tool for Maven. Okay. What is it? Is a backup tool for Maven? See, when you are going for Git and GitHub, so in GitHub, what is storing actually? Source code, correct? So source code GitHub is taking care. Okay, and that source code we are bringing to in a DevOps engineer machine, and then we are doing MVN compile. From source code to it is converting binary, from binary to it is converting to package. So this is the output. Input, Maven input is a source code where it is storing in GitHub. Output we need to store actually in Nexus. Okay. So where we have to store in Nexus. Nexus is a tool, backup tool, where we can store the output of actually Maven. Okay. So Maven output means jar or var. Okay. So where we have to store this in Nexus tool. Okay. See why we are going to take backup tomorrow. If tester team want, they can take from here. If some other team need this, they can take from here. They should not ask you, correct? So that's why they need to create a server. They need to install this Nexus tool in their server, and they can, when package is completed, they can deploy here. Okay, first. So here from here, testing team can take. If you want, you can take. Okay, this is the best place to take actually and use the latest jar or war file. Okay. So that is called your Nexus. So see here two tools how we are going to integrate. So see, Git is present where in your local system. Once you have to copy all your code to remote system, that is GitHub. So in in GitHub you are going to store all this code. Okay. So once you store the code, then you have to take to as a DevOps engineer, you have to take to your machine. Let's say it is your machine. Okay. It is your machine, and your machine, what you have to do once. Let's say it's a DevOps machine. Okay. So what you have to install? First of all, if you are taking the code from this GitHub to your system, you need to install Git here. Without Git, code will not come from GitHub to here. Okay. So code first it should come. Okay. So you have to install Git. Okay. Next, this Maven actually it is a Java based tool. So you have to install here Java. Okay. Then top of that you have to install in your system actually Maven. Then this source code actually from where you bring this one from GitHub. So this is your machine source code, correct? Now it is present in your machine. Okay, correct. So then Maven came already. Maven is installed, so you can compile, you can do package, then output you can store to Nexus. So you got to know how actually these three tools integrated. So Git, GitHub, Maven, and Nexus, 4 tools. Okay, clear up to this?
Sir, Maven is a kind of repository, right?
Maven is actually build automation tool. Okay. So build automation tool means old days what happened. So who is developing the code? They are doing the build. Without build, without compile, okay, your binary conversion will not happen because source code is for user. Binary code is for your machine. Okay. So compile once you do the 1 second. Let me put the chart. So, okay. So what Maven is doing, Maven they before that actually they are using this all things, correct? 1 second. Where is my charger? Okay. See what Maven is doing internally, it is taking help of Java and it is doing for you this compilation, this package, okay, for you. So that means it is getting the output using Maven only. So Maven has some repository. So where actually the plugins and all it is downloading. That is different case. Okay. The plugin part is different. But internally what it is doing your build and package for you. And you are getting this output. Correct? And this output is main. Once you deploy in a server this output, your Flipkart application, your Amazon application, everything will come. This is actually main thing for DevOps engineering. Okay. And this whole flow we can say CI part, continuous integration. When Jenkins is not there, we are using Git, Maven, and we are doing continuous integration. Okay, like this. Okay, so tomorrow if your jar file is not created, you are getting some error. You have to send the message to that particular developer. He will again actually correct the code, and he will push the code here. Then again you have to copy to your machine as a DevOps engineer. Again you have to use Maven, compile, package, and you can create it. Up to we are getting error, this process continuously flowing. Because of that, actually, we are saying continuous integration. Okay. Now clear?
Yes.
Okay.
For a DevOps engineer, it is not necessary to learn code.
No, not necessary to learn code. See, code, everything they are writing, but this process we have to automate, correct? See, now what happened? I need to install in my machine Git, correct? This is my DevOps machine, correct? I need to install Git because source code I need to bring to my machine. And if I'm going to use build tool called Maven, Maven is a Java based tool, so I have to install in my machine Java. Okay, then I have to install Maven. Then I have to know this. Okay, how to compile, how to package. This command I need to learn. Okay, and I need to understand overall architecture so that you can easily actually explain somebody and easily use this command. Okay. So only thing is that when you are going to automate your infrastructure means machine creation and all, that time you can use the Terraform script. Okay, that is also very easy and it is available in your Google actually in Terraform portal. Just you have to copy paste and you have to use. Okay. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Next, actually, the master tool. Okay. Tomcat next. So we'll go one by one. I'll tell you. Tomcat, or you can say HTTPD. So next, actually, Tomcat. Okay. So Tomcat or HTTPD. So Tomcat, what is Tomcat? It is actually web server to host your web application, to deploy your web application. Correct? So this HTTPD also it's a web server to host or to deploy your web application. Okay, that means see if you have multiple application for managing, you need a software. So this is a web server. We can say this is a web server to deploy a web application. Suppose now this jar or war file I have to deploy. What I have to do in my machine if I am not doing automated way. In my machine, I have to install Tomcat first. Okay. Once you install Tomcat, in top of that actually, I need to copy this WAR file. In that particular Tomcat, inside there is a folder called actually web app. Okay. So that web app folder inside, I have to just copy this file. So automatically it will deploy and in browser through Tomcat, you can access this application. So everybody can actually access this application. So that for managing it is easy. Okay. Tomcat has start, stop, everything. So restart. If you want to restart your application because of some issue, you can restart. You can redeploy. A lot of things are there in Tomcat. So today only you can know like it is a web server to host or to deploy your web application. Okay. Clear this one?
Yes.
Next, actually, Jenkins. So Jenkins is actually main tool for you. Okay? So it is called also master or CI tool for DevOps. Okay. So why we are telling master or CI tool? See, when you are going to integrate like this, okay, lot of issue you are facing. What are the issue? I'll tell you. Let's say developer 4 or DevOps engineer came to here. The same diagram I am explaining here again. Let's say this is the DevOps engineer. Okay. In this machine only, we have to build our application. What I have to do, same thing, whatever I told you there. I have to install all these things. Okay. This. Let me copy this one. So here Java is missing. Okay. So what I have to do, I have to first actually there is a concept called clone. Okay, first I have to clone to here. So once you clone, before clone, you have to install all this software because otherwise the Git is not there means it will not work. You have to clone. So once you clone, actually this all code will come to your machine. All this code will come to your machine. Okay. Next, what you have to do, I told you like you have to do compile, correct? MVN compile, MVN package. Then what it will do, you have to do here, let's say MVN package. Compile not required. MVN package. Okay. Then your output will come like var or jar in this machine. Dot var file this because jar file not required. So this process you are doing. So you tell me what are the manual things you are doing in this. You observe any manual things here? See, let's say when you are doing actually var file, you got some error. Then you have to communicate to this developer group. In real time, you have a developer group. You have to send the mail to developer group. Once you send the mail, they need to fix their issue. Once they will fix the issue, they need to push to GitHub remote repo. Once it will go to GitHub remote repo, how I am as a DevOps engineer getting to know actually, how I'll get to know whether this is updated or not updated. That also somebody will inform you, boss, I updated code. Please again do MVN package, you will get your WAR file. And you have to deploy in some test environment or production environment. Correct? This process, then again what I have to do? I have to pull it because first time I have to clone, second time I have to pull the code here. Otherwise, in my system, it will not come. Latest code, correct? I have to pull second time. Okay. Once this is also manual. Then MVN package also I have to do manual. Then WAR file will create. Correct? This process continuously going on. Correct? All this manual process continuously go on. So what is the use actually? Correct? Tomorrow, if you are actually installing in another machine, you have to create like this another machine. So again, you have to do everything actually manually. Okay. So to making actually automate your continuous integration process, Jenkins came to picture. So what Jenkins is doing, Jenkins we have to install in a server. Okay. So let's say this is a server. Okay, where we have to install Jenkins. So which server Jenkins is installed, that is called Jenkins master. Okay. Once you install Jenkins, it's called Jenkins master. So next what you have to do, first you have to identify this machine. Okay. So in Jenkins, there is an option. Jenkins is actually like, let I show you. So this is your Jenkins UI. Okay. So this is your Jenkins UI, and all the Jenkins work actually you have to create like job. Once you create job like this, okay. Let's say I have a job here. This all are job. Okay. So this we need to create. Okay. How we are going to create? I think server is down. Okay. That is Jenkins server. I'll show you. Start. So parallelly I'll explain. Okay. So here what you have to do, we have to create a job. Let's say job one I'll create. Job one. Okay. Once I create job one, I have to configure something. Otherwise, how I know actually this machine I have to run it. I have to update in Jenkins. So then Jenkins can take automatically this code and build here. Okay. So second step, I have to make a communication between master machine and we have to tell this as slave machine. Okay. Jenkins slave. slave 1. So what slave will do? Once Jenkins will instruct, so slave based on that slave will work. 1 second. Okay. So here I have to give slave 1 configuration setup. Okay. So once I'll give slave 1 configuration things, then next I have to give actually GitHub URL. GitHub URL. Where I'll get that URL? If you go to GitHub, this is GitHub. See, this is my code. Okay, let me show you actual code how it is. So let's say this is my code. Okay, where this is actually SRC source code is there. Okay, and POM file is there. So this is this URL I have to update in Jenkins so that Jenkins will take from here and he will build it. Okay, so where is here? Okay, GitHub URL I'll update. Then what I'll do? Next step I'll update in job 1 this machine Java and Maven path. Okay, I'll show you where you will get that Java Maven. Okay, that means it is called actually Java home. Okay, and it is called actually Maven home, M2 home or Maven home. So Java and Maven path I have to update. Okay, so that, and I'll write here MVN package also. Okay, so this I have to update for job 1. This 4 information. Slave 1 information. After slave 1, so where is that GitHub URL? You can put it here. Okay. So these 4 things I have to update. Okay. So this information through, okay, if you go to Jenkins, let me show you how it is looks. Okay. So then when we are going to, there is a build option in Jenkins. Okay. So in Jenkins, there is a build option, build now option for job 1. Once you click this build now option, step 1, what it will do from here to, it will go to here, step 1. Let's say this is step 1. And it will take the, let me remove all this. It's not required now. Okay. So what it will do, it will download or it will clone code from here. That second step. Okay. Step 2. Okay. Then step 3, what will happen? It will verify these 2 Java home or Java path, Maven path for this system or other system. If it will find other system, there only it will build and it will create the map, what is called war file. Okay. So that is the third step. What it will check? It will check Maven and Java path, whether this it is correctly setting up or not. Okay. Step 2. Okay. So once it will validate, then what internally what it will do? It will execute this command. Okay, MVN package. It will execute and it will give you jar or war file here. Okay. Let's say you are getting some issue, it is not creating. Then what we have to do? We have to directly send the mail through Jenkins to particular group. Then what they'll do? They'll see this some issue is there. They'll push back. They'll push to GitHub. Then once they'll push to GitHub, Jenkins will get to know. Okay, Jenkins will get to know some update came to remote repo. Automatically, again he will actually trigger this step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. Okay, automatically this step 4. Clear this?
Jenkins is a kind of automation tool, right?
Correct.
So
It is not automation tool. It is actually called continuous integration tool. In Jenkins, we are giving all the details. Okay. Actually, build tool is Maven. Without that, actually, Jenkins will not do anything.
yes, yes,
Internally, here we are giving that, because of that we are giving the path actually. Correct. So Jenkins in UI we are actually giving the all the details. Then we are telling Jenkins to do something, and Jenkins what he is doing internally, he's taking actually he is managing GitHub and Maven, and he is giving war file to you. Okay. Yeah. Now tell me something you are telling.
no, sir.
Okay. So I'll show you that all flow. Okay, if you go to Jenkins, this is your Jenkins, okay? And here I'll give my username password. See, let's say I am creating a job. Okay? One second. So I already created a job. Let's say package job. I'll tell you how it is working. If you go to here, whatever I did actually build now. I told you some build now, correct? I'll tell you how it is working. See, here there is a source code management. Source code management means what? I told you. It's a version control. Okay.
Yes,
Here I'm
yes,
giving version control path. I told you here this is the path. I'm giving this version control path. Then in build step, I'm selecting M2 Maven. Okay, M2, and I'm giving the goal MVN package. Okay. Then this one how it is coming, I'll tell you. Because somewhere actually I am writing the tool location. If you go to dashboard, if you go to manage Jenkins, if you go to tools, here I am writing that actually path JDK. This is actually main Java home, and this is the path for your destination machine, your slave machine. This path actually inside Jenkins, here only I am updating. Okay, and for Maven also same thing. You go to Maven, I am updating this path actually for your sorry, this machine. Okay, so where this machine path should match, otherwise your build will fail. Okay, so then Jenkins is taking this initiative. He is doing step 1, then step 2, then step 3, then step 4. Okay, clear? And
yes.
Jenkins has a lot of feature actually. See, if in weekend you are not going to office and you have to build, and jar file will copy to Nexus repo, so that developer will take or tester will take, they'll do their R&D or they'll do their work. Correct? For that case, we have to set in Jenkins, there is a cron job. Okay. in this date, this time my bill should run. Okay, same day only Sunday your bill should run. So Sunday 2 p.m. your bill should run. That everything in Jenkins you can configure, and automatically Jenkins will do step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Okay.
Yes.
So this whole process we are telling as a continuous integration up to this, because Jenkins end of the day giving you var or jar file. Okay, that's why for generating up to var or jar file it is called continuous integration. Okay, all three clear? Okay, only
Yes.
two now. Okay, Abhishek and Sumendra, correct? So we both clear?
Yes, like
Yeah, basic. See,
diagrammatically it's okay, but once we
yeah,
start, probably that
yeah,
will take.
see, because actually up to this you need 1 month to complete, correct? We completed
Okay.
how many tools? Like uh, Git, correct? Then
Hmm.
GitHub,
Git,
then
GitHub,
Maven,
Maven,
Nexus, Tomcat, Jenkins.
okay.
So 5 tool minimum 1.5 month
Hmm.
it will take to complete. So whole
Yes.
things we can say CI, continuous integration. Okay. Then what we can do tomorrow, we can start continuous deployment. Okay. So once var file, how we are going to do continuous deployment tomorrow we can do. Okay.
Okay.
This one I'll send you. I'll upload in that Google Drive, and I'll send you in that particular group. You can take
Okay.
and you can see. Okay.
Okay. Okay. And do we need to go to the Google Drive or the link of the website that you had sent?
No, Google Drive
Google.
website actually. Yesterday we faced some issue. Na, I'll correct it actually in weekend. Then
Okay.
in website only we can get it.
ठीक है.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you all.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Okay. Good night.
Okay.